Hello, I'm City of Laurel Communications Director Audrey Barnes. October 20th is Community Media Day. It's a day celebrated around the world by all of those who want to ensure that free speech remains free. We're acknowledging all those who work to ensure that the media is inclusive and that information gets to all of those who need it. So it's the perfect day for us to launch our Laurel Community Media Spotlight podcast. This is the first one, and we're going to be doing them routinely over the next few weeks. It's our latest information platform to get the word out about Laurel residents, city events, community events, just all the information that people need to make life enjoyable and for us to feel engaged and empowered. So joining me today is part of the Laurel TV crew. I have Carmen Cano. She's our social media specialist. And I'm also joined by Megan Plazinski. Megan started as an intern here at Laurel TV, but she impressed me so much, I ended up hiring her. So thank you both for being on the podcast today.
Thank you for having us.
All right, well, Carmen, let me start with you because you actually moved across the country to work here at Laurel TV. Why would you make such a decision? And what do you think now that you're here and seeing what we're doing at Laurel TV?
Oh my God, I was wondering if that was going to come up. I'm from Ohio originally. I wanted something kind of different. So Ohio, all the memes are true. You get a lot of flatland. It's a lot of corn. I always make the joke that literally everybody is corn. So the meme goes. So I wanted something kind of different, and Maryland definitely fit that, and Laurel was even more so. I'm used to like a very small city vibe, but this was the next step up. So I like being able to kind of have the opportunity to go, and like I'm a half hour from everything. In Ohio, like I literally have to travel. Sure, the nearest city is like a half hour away, but the big cities, hour, 2 hours. I could go to Canada even, like, what was it, an hour and a half? Just cross the bridge. Here I am in Canada. But I really liked when I saw the job opening originally. I really, at one point, wanted to get into TV, but at this point, it was, oh, you're kind of doing more advertising and graphics and things like that. But then I got into the social media scape, and I'm just like, oh, this is even cooler. I could do all the graphics. I can do videos. I don't necessarily need to be a part of TV to do something like that. And with the way everything is kind of working right now, shorts, YouTube videos, all that kind of stuff, it kind of honed into what I wanted. So seeing that you guys, I could work with a community station and then also do social media and kind of lend my craft to help you guys like promote the city and all the cool things that are going on here. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot.
I wanted to be able to help out with that. I wanted to do it and to see all the things that you guys have done. I wanted a piece of that.
Well,
so it's kind of cool.
You've taken us to the next level with social media for sure. I mean, it's off the charts good. And for those of who you are listening out there, you've got to check out our social media sites. We have dozens and dozens of ways for you to connect with us, which is kind of what we want to brag about on Community Media Day. And Megan, you came to us as an intern, a college intern.
Yes.
And when you first got here to Laurel TV and you saw the studio, the facilities, what did you think?
Honestly, I was amazed. I never knew a TV studio could be like held in this kind of building. I was so excited when I walked into the studio and got a little tour, and being able to work in the studio and gain experience from it has been amazing. I love working with the crew and seeing everybody like help out. It's just so much fun.
And the thing about community media is it is so important because the stuff that we're doing is the stuff that might not make it onto the bigger commercial television stations. For those of you who may not know, I was a TV reporter for decades, and I worked at all the stations in Washington D.C. and WBAL in Baltimore, but I will tell you, it's a little known fact that the news hole, meaning how much time they actually have for news in a 30-minute newscast, is only 11 minutes. So think about
Really?
that. If you're a Washington, D.C. or a Baltimore station, you only have 11 minutes. So what's the chance you're going to have Laurel news
Mhm.
on one of those stations?
Yeah.
Very small, right? So
Mhm.
that's why it's our job to kind of focus on the community news that's happening.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the community events that you've seen since you've been here that you think
Ooh.
it's really cool that we've covered?
Ooh. So, that's a hard one.
There's so many, right?
Pride actually was just recently, and
Hmm.
I did really like that one. That one was a lot of fun.
Hmm.
Back home I used to go to drag shows with a bunch of friends all the time. So that was
Hmm.
something that I've always really liked doing, and to
Hmm.
kind of see that and to see how they took that to the next level, and like they were outside, they were performing, it was a lot of fun. But I really liked Lake Fest. That was
Hmm.
such a fun one. Going out and all the paddle boats. They had like a big rock wall that was there.
Hmm.
All these activities going on. There's so much, and it's hard to pick just one. But I do really like. Um, it seems I have a penchant for going to this stuff like right by
Right.
Goody Lake.
Right. Well, I mean, Goody Lake is the gem of Laurel. I mean, there's a lot of fun things that happen there. And so we can't get to every community event, but we do cover a lot. And Megan, were you here when we did the Main Street Festival?
I was not here for the Main Street Festival, but one of the first things I did as an intern was go to Otakon with
Okay.
the crew,
Yes.
and that was a amazing event to cover. It was so much fun. It was a great bonding experience as well. It was cool we just got to do this huge like convention. I've never been to one before, so it was a lot of fun. We just did the city council candidate forum, and that was also a lot of fun to have live for the city of Laurel.
And people may not know it, but we actually broadcast all of the government meetings in the city of Laurel. It's not just the city council, Marion City Council meetings. We also broadcast the Historic District Commission meetings, the Planning Commission, Ethics Commission. All of those meetings get broadcast, and we put them up on our YouTube channel. So even if you can't watch it live, you can go on our YouTube channel and see it, which is really good. I
Mhm.
mean, that's what community media is all about. But we also do like emergency notifications and things like that. That's where social media is a big part of it. Did you know, like we really focus on special days
Oh yeah,
and fun days. Like last Friday was dessert day,
yeah, yeah,
so we let the community know about that kind of stuff too.
yeah.
But let me ask you, Megan,
Yes.
as a young person,
Hmm.
you're about to graduate from college.
Hmm.
What would you say to aspiring like journalists about working at a public access station like Laurel TV?
I would say don't count us out. Definitely check us out if you're interested in media. It's a great starting point. If you're interested in working behind the scenes, on the camera, hosting, doing stories out in the community, I think it's a great opportunity for younger people to get involved with a tight knit community that is so welcoming to everyone that joins.
And the good thing is, like, as opposed to many internships and things like that, you actually get to touch our equipment. You get to
Mhm.
work with professionals like myself and
Mhm.
Carmen and learn. It's like hands
Mhm.
on training, right?
Yeah, I got to work with like a camera almost immediately. I've been trained in behind the scenes, working in the studio for different shows for the Laurel Board of Trade, different interviews that other reporters have done in the studio, which I thought was a great experience, an opportunity for younger people. We get a huge access to the studio, the equipment, and we learn a lot.
Yeah, so let's talk about some of the different things that you can do here. I want to give a shout out to Darnell Butler, who's our audio engineer on this podcast. And when Darnell started, I knew he had the audio skills, but since he's been at Laurel TV, he taught himself how to shoot television video, edit television video using digital editing equipment. Just the sky's the limit for the stuff that you can do here. And also, I have Jan Moss's behind the scenes here at Laurel TV. Same thing. There's so many different skills that you can get in a community television station that you can't get in a commercial TV station.
Yeah, I agree. I was actually talking to Dave Wood
Mhm.
earlier, and he had come in as a high schooler through
Yes.
one of our programs, and he just kind of stuck with us. I thought that like is a really cool story, and you don't get a lot of that. I feel in like the bigger studios.
Mhm. Yeah, Dave Wood, it was a Mayor Summer Job intern with the communications department, and now he's a production assistant with Laurel TV. So you can get in, get a foot in the door, learn. And I should also just brag on us a little bit because some of our reporters have won Telly Awards here. Since I joined the station in 2014, we've won 9 international Telly Awards. And one of our award winning reporters now works in Champaign, Illinois, which is like the neighbor of Chicago. So I expect to see Jamal Williams on national TV one day. But we've had a lot of people come through here that have gone on to get really, really good jobs in commercial television stations. Stephanie Johnson, another one, who's now an anchor in Iowa. I mean, there's just so many things going on. Is there anything that you think people would be surprised to know about what we do as far as getting the information out to people in Laurel at Laurel TV?
Ooh, that's honestly a really good question. I think a lot of the time, um, social media I know personally sometimes we get it the same way you guys do. It's a lot of keeping your eyes and ears open to
Hmm.
what's going on around you. It's a lot of being very observant. And you kind of learn that as you go. Because when I started fresh out of college, like, I didn't know it's how you got a
Hmm.
lot of things. You
Hmm.
read the papers, you keep track of like what's going on in the community, the different organizations, what are they doing? Like, it's a lot of that, and I thought that was really neat.
And we're going to switch out
Mhm.
Shar. We have another reporter with us today, Shar Friedberg. So we're going to switch her out and talk a little bit with her. But Megan, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
sharing your experiences here at Laurel
Of course.
TV. So we can't wait to see all the good things that you're going to do with us. As a matter
Thank
of
you.
fact, I should give a plug. Megan, actually, one of the first projects you did was doing a podcast survey. And
Yes.
pushing it out to the community, trying to
Mhm,
find out what kinds of things they wanted to hear on our podcast. So
mhm.
we appreciate that,
Thank you.
all that good work. And also, while Megan's switching out, Carmen, I want to ask you, like, how much time do people spend on the YouTube channel? Do you think they go back and take a? Oh, and we haven't even talked about our Instagram. That's another platform we have. So we have Facebook, Twitter or X. We have Instagram, which is quickly growing as one
Mhm.
of our most popular platforms to get the word out.
Yeah, we're almost at 2,000 followers right now, and we just
Right.
started picking content up since I've been here, so a little shy of a year.
Right. And when you what's different? Like people, you see all these different social media platforms and people don't know like is one geared for a certain thing, what certain audiences enjoy one more than the other. What's your take on that?
We definitely have a lot more Facebook followers, and I think that leads to a bigger conversation on Facebook.
Hmm.
Um, I hate to say it, but a lot of our audience is older, so
Hmm.
that's kind of where my focus is getting the younger crowd in, which is why I'm focusing a lot on Instagram. But we do have a lot of conversation through Facebook. We're getting there with Instagram. That's where we put a lot of our videos,
Hmm.
in addition to YouTube. Uh, but we also a lot of the just information, if you want a lot of information, that go to Twitter or X.
Hmm.
That is where I've kind of started honing in on that, is more information on Twitter. I've
And
been
it's
so bad about
faster.
calling it X.
Yeah, and it's hard for me. I don't know what to call it right now.
I'm
But
still calling it Twitter.
me too. Yeah, thank you for joining us, Shar. Shar Friedberg is a production assistant. And here at Laurel TV, that really means you're a reporter,
Yeah.
right? How have you enjoyed making the transition to doing television as opposed to a lot of newspaper reporting, magazines, and things like that?
I feel like TV is more in my wheelhouse actually. I started off like the thing that really made me want to go into television was I was watching my middle school announcements and they had it as a TV production and I said I want to do that. So I
Uh-huh.
joined the next year, so I was doing all the stuff. I was anchoring, I was the character generator, which essentially means like putting the names on everything. And
Mhm.
also, like, I put up the words for the Pledge of Allegiance. I operated audio. Like, I did all the jobs. And it was only until high school that I realized this is an actual job that people do. So
Mhm.
when I was in high school, I was focusing on bettering myself at my high school TV station. And I went to Montgomery College and I got an internship there at their TV station. By the way, their internship is very selective.
Well,
So,
that's how you got in, right? They only take the best.
yeah. Um yeah, that was a lot of fun and I learned so much working there. I still use some of the stuff that I learned at MCTV as it's called. I still use it when I am editing, when I'm organizing stuff. And I started really honing in on my career at MC and also when I went to University of Maryland. So
Mhm.
I've always had broadcast in me and to improve my writing in general, I've just always also focused on like writing for print or writing for online and I do feel like the more formal language is in my wheelhouse, but I prefer doing broadcast.
Well, it's funny because I'll share a story. Like one of the things I like most about being in television, the broadcast industry, is the writing and the editing. And so you came to me with a story, the last two stories, and we sit down at my conference table and we start going over scripts. And I'm like, okay, take this paragraph, move that up, move that around. It's like a little puzzle, but then the finished product is
Yeah.
so much better. And
Mhm.
that's what the beauty of being in this environment is, that you get to learn from each other, right?
Yeah. And there's this phrase that has been used in the industry, like you called it putting together a puzzle, but when you were saying this doesn't work quite right, I was just thinking, you're killing my baby.
Right, right, exactly. I know. Well, I didn't mean to do that.
No, I know it's a common thing in the industry.
It is because we're so committed to our story, like we don't want to leave anything on the cutting room floor, and in TV you have to leave some things on the cutting room floor. um so, you know, I just want to make every story better. And then the main thing is people need to learn that everybody gets edited from the highest levels of network television to Laurel TV.
Yeah.
Everybody gets edited, but you get a much better product that way.
Yeah, before I joined Laurel TV, I was actually at the PBS NewsHour, and that was a really amazing experience. I
Mhm.
enjoyed all the time that I spent there. I got to meet and interact with Judy Woodruff. The main person that I worked with was Nick Schifrin, and he's the foreign correspondent, so he always had a certain way of making the script sound because he like worked in radio. So the scripts I thought sounded good when the associate producer was writing them. And then he took the script and pretty much ripped it up.
Right. That's just everybody gets edited. People edit so it sounds more like their
Mhm.
style. So, what would you think people would be most impressed about the kind of news that we do here at Laurel TV?
I think they'll be most impressed that we cover a wide variety of topics. Like, we don't just cover, hey, here's something that's going on. We also try to cover something that is a bit more newsworthy and try to connect it to what's going on in the city of Laurel.
That's right, because our audience is the 29,000 people who live in the city of Laurel. Now, of course, our podcast can be listened to by people around the world, and they might want to come here and visit. That's the beauty of podcasts.
Fingers crossed.
Right. You want to get people to come and enjoy our beautiful city. Is there anything else you think we should share on Community Media Day? Just about, just the importance of having a local public access station in Laurel and what a valuable thing that is for residents, businesses, business owners, visitors, I should say, and business owners. Yeah.
Um, I'd probably say local journalism has been slowly dying out. And the fact that we have this thriving TV station telling people about different events going on everywhere, that's huge. And I just hope that more people recognize that and can help Laurel TV grow in general.
Well, I think that's the perfect thing to end on, Shar. Thank you for that.
Thank
So,
you.
if you have a story idea that you would like to see on Laurel TV or something you'd want to see on our podcast, shoot me an email. That email address is info@laureltv.org. I get them all, I review them all, and look for it on an upcoming episode of Laurel Community Spotlight. I'm Audrey Barnes, Carmen Cano, Shar Friedberg. Thank you for watching and listening.